Hey you guys, today we're gonna do a new discoveries video. I haven't done one of these in so long. I'm so excited. I have some really interesting and innovative products to share with you. These are things that are newer on my radar, but I have had them long enough to test them and to know that they're actually worth sharing with you. So if you're new here, my name is Penny. I am a master esthetician in Portland, Oregon. I'm super excited that you're here. I do hope you'll stick around. I hope you'll subscribe before you go. And I also hope you will check the description box. I'm gonna link everything, but also down there are all of my socials. So my Instagram, my private skincare group on Facebook, all of that. My blog is down in the description box. So please do check that out. Okay, let's get into it. First things first, let's start with the hair product for thinning hair. It is this product from X-Fusion. Looks like this. I actually attached these little applicators to this. It comes with just a lid and kind of like a shaker cap. Now, I actually initially got this product for my mom. My mom has short hair and she would say that she's going bald. She is not going bald, but she is going to be 76 years old this year. And there are parts of her hair where you can kind of see through her already fine hair. You can see through a little bit to her scalp. And so she's even like started buying wigs and that kind of stuff. And so I'm always on the hunt for something that could maybe help her so that she feels better about her hair. And I came across this product and I picked one up for her initially, and then I tested it on her hair. Now, first of all, I'm going to tell you that it does leave a texture in your hair. You put it at the root area, and the idea is that it's fibers and it's pigment, and so it basically camouflages the scalp to look like it's more densely packed with hair, so you can't see through. It's also kind of matte on purpose so that it kind of absorbs light instead of reflecting it like a scalp might, so that it just really gives this optical illusion of having more hair at the root, just having more hair in general. Now, when I did test it on my mom, we loved the way that it looked. She wasn't really sold on the way that it felt at first. In fact, her initial, when she felt it, she went, oh. Now, I attribute that to the fact that she is not used to having texture in her hair. It gave her a ton of volume, and it absolutely did make her look like she had more hair at the root. There is a learning curve too, I will tell you, because I'm going to show you my first time using it. And I did use the viewfinder to put it on, so I got to give myself some credit. But it does take a little bit of kind of getting used to how you put it onto the scalp. But once you figure it out, it is seriously a game-changing product. Now for me, especially since I've gone dark with my hair, when I pull my hair up into a ponytail, on the sides of my hair, you can absolutely see through to my scalp. You can see everywhere that I have little extension attachments, and in between that, you see a bunch of my scalp. It's just very fine over here, very thin for me. I found that this product filled in all of that thin area so you couldn't see my scalp. I absolutely love it. Do I use it every single day? No, I don't. If I am wearing my hair down like this, I don't bother with it. There is absolutely no reason. And if I'm not wearing my hair up in a ponytail or back where you can really see the sides of my hair, I don't bother with it. But I do think that if you are somebody who has areas on your scalp that really bothers you and you have hair there, I don't think I would use this on a place where there's absolutely no hair to begin with. I think you need some hair. It can be really fine and it can be see-through to the scalp, but I do think there needs to be some hair there. Now, I do want to say that I never tested this on a man, so I have no, stories to tell you or anything like that about how it worked on a man. I do suggest reading all kinds of reviews and really digging into this to see if this is the right kind of thing for you, because all I can do is share with you that I tested it on my mom and then I tested it on myself, and I think it's pretty stinking cool. Now, the color that I have for my hair is medium brown, and the color that I got from my mom is medium blonde. And if I do have a piece of advice for you with this product or any product, is always remember that darker roots look more natural. So I would say if you're in doubt as to what color to get, choose the color that you initially think and then consider one shade darker. Just consider it. It's an idea. The other thing about it is because it comes in a package that you can open so you can see the product inside, it's a powder and it's got little tiny fibers and powder. you can actually mix a couple colors to come up with a custom color for you. So you can definitely, you know, play a little bit of a chemist until you get exactly the kind of root color that you want. Now this washes out. So this is only stays in your hair as long as, you know, until your next wash. Let me know in the comments if you've ever tried a product like this, what you think about that. If you have any tips for using these. I'm still pretty new to this. I mean, I would say I've only used it like under 10 times now before I filmed this video. So I'm definitely still new to it, and I will take any tips and tricks. I did buy this little applicator thing separately, and depending on where on your scalp you have your thinning hair, you may or may not want that. If it's on the top, you may find that the little shaker, it's almost like a salt shaker top with little, you know, perforations. You may find that that will work just fine for you if you part off and you just tap it into the hair. But for me, because it's on the side, I really liked this because it's like an air bubble that I just can press it and it kind of shoots into the side of my hair. Again, there's definitely a little bit of a learning curve, but it's totally worth the effort to learn how to use this product. Okay, next let's talk about, since we're on hair, you guys, dry shampoo. Ever since I went dark with my hair, I've been kind of on the hunt for another dry shampoo. I have been a devotee to Living Proof Perfect Hair Day and also to Keratin Fresh Hair, I think it's called Fresh something or other, for years. I've talked about them on this channel forever and ever and ever. Well, unfortunately, really unfortunately, both of those leave me with a little bit of a white cast now that I have darker hair. So I've been kind of on the hunt because I am a dry shampoo person for sure. Well, I picked up this one from Klorane. This is the Klorane Dry Shampoo, and this is for dark hair. So I love this. I absolutely love this. The deal with this one, you guys, is there is actually a little bit of pigment in the powder, and it's slightly warm, it's slightly translucent, and it just doesn't leave any kind of white cast whatsoever. Now, it's not like it doesn't leave a cast at all. All dry shampoos, in my opinion, leave a little bit of a powder evidence, even if it's just because it mattifies the hair or whatever. There's just evidence that you've dry shampooed. Now, when I use this one, I really am careful to be at least like 8 inches off of the root area, and then I let it dry for 10 to 15 minutes, and that is super key. Once it is completely dry and it has done all of its work absorbing oil, then I start to finger shake it through, and I find that I can't really see that I dry shampooed. I mean, I can tell because there's no more oil, so it kind of mattifies the root area, but I'm totally okay with that because the alternative was being super oily in the root area, you know, day 3 or something of a wash cycle during a week. I am trying really, really hard to do less heat styling on my hair. And so dry shampoo is one of those things that for me is absolutely non-negotiable because it helps me get a day or 2 more out of my initial blow dry the first time. So that is the Klorane Shampoo Sec Dry Shampoo with oat milk. I got the one with oat milk. I do think there are a couple different kinds. I haven't tried the other ones. I've only tried this one, and it says for dark hair. So I do think that if you have even medium dark hair, or even if you have really dark blonde hair, I think this one could be good for you. It does have kind of a little bit of a warm undertone. So if you are a really cool dark blonde, then you probably wouldn't like this. But if you have neutral or warmer hair, especially at the root, you might really like this one. Okay, let's talk about a cleanser. I picked this Avene Tolerance Up. This is it's an ultra gentle, fragrance free, extremely gentle cleanser, they call it. So what makes this really interesting is that it is a no rinse cleanser. That's why it's called a lotion. So basically I use this a lot like I use my Drunk Elephant. I put it on to either a reusable cotton round, or I will put it on my very favorite Walgreens little squares that have the pocket for your fingers. I kind of drench that and I use it as an all over cleanser. This is also really great in the morning if I want to refresh my face in the morning, if I wore a lot of skincare to bed the night before, and I really do feel like I want to refresh my face, but I don't want to put any water on it, and you don't want to really cleanse my skin. I want to retain all of my natural oils and all of that stuff. Anyway, so that is the Avene Tolerance Lotion. Extremely gentle cleanser. Next, we're going to talk about a body sunscreen that is top of the list. This will be in a favorites video down the line, undoubtedly, you guys. It is the Kopari Sunshield Body Glow. Okay, here's the deal with this, you guys. I want you to know that I do not use this, nor have I used this as a standalone SPF for the body. I still love and use my Avene SPF 60 body lotion. And right now what I'm doing is I will put on my One Skin body in the morning right out of the shower while my skin is still damp. I let that sit for just a little while so my skin completely dries. I put on my Avene anywhere I think I'm gonna be exposed to the sun, like usually my arms and décolleté, and usually that's it. Usually my arms and décolleté are the places that get my SPF, my Avene SPF 60. Then I will wait a little while, and this literally just goes on my arms. If my shoulders are exposed, it will go on my shoulders. If my collarbone area is exposed, because I don't know if you can see, it has this beautiful glow to it. So I consider this to be an SPF topper. It's SPF of 50. So I'm kind of like, it's just another added layer of SPF protection that gives you the most beautiful glow. Now it's Kopari, so it has a coconut scent to it, so you have to like that. I feel like it's sunshine in a bottle. It's huge. It will last. This will last me the rest of the summer. Let's be real, because I'm not using it on my entire body every day, and it's gorgeous. It literally makes your skin just look so glowy and beautiful and hydrated and just beautiful. It's really, really cool product. So that is the Kopari Sunshield Body Glow SPF of 50. Let's see, we're almost to the end here, you guys. I wanted to share with you self-tanner that is so impressive to me. Now, I've been doing a lot of the self-tanning drops into my own body lotion and then doing that for self-tanning, and I love that. I especially love that kind of as a gradual keep yourself in with a little bit of color. But I was sent some self-tanner, and everything else here I bought myself, you guys. But this I was sent, and I am so thankful because I don't think I would have picked it up myself. And it is by the brand Coco and Eve. Now, they sent me a back applicator, which is incredible. I do have some tips and tricks for actually using that puppy. And then they also sent me their mousse. Now, this mousse is so good, you guys. First of all, it smells like no other self-tanner. It doesn't ever get stinky. It smells like coconut and mango, and it just stays smelling nice. It doesn't end up making you smell like you baked in an actual tanning bed, which some tanning lotions can do, some self-tanners. And they did this with a green gray base. So green actually counteracts red, and that is to help so that you don't turn out orange. Now, I used this with their mitt, which I love. I know it's got the stuff on it. It has a color in it, which is really great because it's gives you a guide so you know that where you're going. And the way that I did this, you guys, is I put some of the tanner on the mitt. I actually slide it up my arm in almost like stripes, you know, connecting stripes. And quickly, before those stripes dry, I go back in circular motions. And for me, that helps to ensure that I don't get any streaks, etc., by going kind of vertical and then circular, right? Okay, the other thing that they sent is this brush. Now, I haven't used the brush yet, but I have used a brush before for self-tanner. And basically, it almost looks like a kabuki makeup brush. The entire point of a brush is so that you can buff tiny bits of tanner into your hands, onto your feet, and it kind of just airbrushes where you want that tanner to be more kind of blown out and feathered out. The other thing you can do with a brush that I have shown before, I think on Instagram, is you can actually contour with self-tanner. You can use just a little bit of tanner on bare skin and go in and do a little self-tanning on the places, and you just feather it out. You let it completely develop, wash, and then you go on and you have ever so slightly given yourself a contour with self-tanner. I love it, and a brush is perfect for that. The other thing that I mentioned was the back applicator. So it looks like this, and the whole idea is obviously so you can go like this, right, on your back. Now, there's a couple things. Number one, there is a learning curve. You have to really like hump your back so that you don't have, if you're like me and you don't have the indentation at your spine, because this will skip right over that, right? The other thing is you have to learn how to put a couple dollops onto this and then slowly put it behind your back, apply it to your back, and then start to rub. If you get any kind of gathered into your spinal area, all I did was I put this on, I reached back and I just kind of evened out the middle section of my back. No problem. No matter what, you guys, this is one of the coolest things I've come across, because a lot of times what happens with me with self-tanner is I get everywhere but the middle, because I just get as far over as I can, and pretty soon I'm just like, never mind, my hair's long. Nobody will see. Well, not anymore. Now I can actually self-tan the entire back of my back. And I think that that is pretty stinking cool. It is really, really cool. So I'm really thankful to them, because I don't get sent a ton of stuff, you guys. This was one of those times when I was like, wow, that is so cool. I will use this the rest of through the summer into the fall. And it all is really super cool. So that is from Coco and Eve. And yeah, I'm just really thankful. And I wanted to share that with you guys because we are heading into summer. If you would like a dedicated self-tanner video, I'd be happy to actually demonstrate how I put on self-tanner. It probably won't be like the prettiest video, but I'd be happy to give you the tips and tricks, because I definitely only ever get my tan from self-tanner. I don't get any color on purpose whatsoever from the actual sun. I do my best to avoid that because I just collect freckles and sunspots. So I've kind of collected over the years lots and lots of tips and tricks for a good self-tan. Okay, you guys, I think, I have one last thing. These are from Supergoop. These are cream eyeshadows. They look like this, that have pigment and have SPF in them. Now, I picked these up. I think I got them at the Sephora sale, you guys. Here's how I use these. They're like a putty. They have a really bouncy texture to them, and they definitely are not like cream eyeshadows where they set and they go nowhere. They can crease if you use them alone. So the way that I actually use them is I always put a primer on, or I use another pot eyeshadow that is like hardcore stay all day, like the MAC Painterly Paint Pot kind of thing. And I use those as a topper. I actually have them on today over the MAC Painterly Paint Pot, and I love them. I love having SPF on my eyelid. I think that that is one of the neglected places on our face, because sometimes using actual SPF on our eyelids, which we should be doing, can bother our eyes. And so I think some people just inadvertently avoid that area when we shouldn't do that. But this is a great way to get a little bit of SPF protection, a little extra SPF protection on that delicate eyelid area. Now, I already use my Color Science 3-in-1 Total Eye. I've talked about this forever as my concealer. I get it in medium. It's SPF of 35. That's what I do as my added SPF under my eyes, because a lot of us get hyperpigmentation under our eyes, which looks like darkness, or it is darkness, and it only adds to the actual bluey green real dark circles and can really end up making you look super duper tired. So this is a great way to color correct the blue green regular old dark circles, but also protect you from future damage and future hyperpigmentation browns underneath the eyes. That's what I do under my eyes, and these Supergoop are what I do on my eyelids. Almost every single day, regardless of my eyeshadow look, I top it with one of these. Even if it's just a tiny, tiny topper of the light shade to pop my eyelid, or if I'm doing a smokier color, I will put the darker color, just a little thin veil over whatever eyeshadow look I've got going on, just because I know it's a little extra SPF protection on that delicate eye area. I am all in for protecting this area at this point in my life at 48 years old. Okay, you guys, those are all of my new discoveries. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. I do hope you'll subscribe before you go, and I will talk to you in my next skincare video. Take care.